How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews. Back to yet another review. A little bit of barrel-aged Russian Imperial Stout time. In the form of Fort George Brewing's Matryoshka. Barrel-aged Russian Imperial Stout with cocoa and raspberries. Yeah. Fort George, I've had some of their beers before. We don't get them out our way, but I was lucky enough to have a pretty killer radio show for a while, and we had some amazing breweries on, from everybody from Sam Adams to small local guys and everybody in between. And we had Fort George on, and they sent a bunch of beers off, and I think this was one of them. Now, was it the cocoa and the raspberry version? I don't remember. I didn't check Untappd or do any of that stuff because I rarely use that stuff anymore. But anyway, we're going to dive into it because I haven't reviewed it. I looked it up. So that's good, because it was sent to me too. Not by the brewery, but by none other than David. David is my West Coast soulmate when it comes to big dark beers, so super excited to give it a whirl. Thank you very much, dude. Let's dive in. As far as what it says on here, it says Matryoshka. It's the barrel-aged Russian Imperial Stout with cocoa nibs and raspberries. 12% alcohol by volume. Sweet Virginia series, a brewer-developed series named after a small 8.5 barrel brewhouse. Let's see, Fort George Brewing, that'd be it. On the back here, he writes notes for me. It says $12 brewery special release, a very limited distribution. Label-wise, I love it. I mean, got a nice jet black wax top on here. Cool little, nested doll thing. That's that Matryoshka. That's what that means, I believe. And, I like the way the label kind of carries itself all the way around. And just kind of ends right there. So, yeah, I dig it. All the way around. Both literally and figuratively. So we got a little bit of wax cut here, so you guys get to listen to me kind of yammer on. It's weird. It has this kind of, looks like it was wax dipped twice, maybe. That could be the case. Oh. Just break it. Shake the shit out of it. Why don't you? Because that makes beer taste better. Anyway, let's see if we can actually dig into this sucker. Brute force it off. Got the wax. Come on. Okay, we're getting started there. Don't you love my bottle openings? They're the bestest of all times. This holy booziness just fucking wafting into my face from a distance. So yeah, we'll see if this one comes off hot or that just a kind of bit of hotness kind of settling up top there, wanting to come out for quite a while. I actually don't know what the age is on this one. It doesn't say it on here. Little bottling date. So yeah. I assume it's this year's version. Well, we're going to find out. Pinky finger of malted malt ball colored head that looks so creamy it's not even fucking funny. Super tight compact bubbles, and she be dark. Yeah, she definitely looks like a Russian Imperial Stout. Big, rich darkness to it, with that nice kind of super cocoa, creamy, milk chocolatey kind of head going on. So, yeah, we're off to a good start. Let's see what that nose has. Okay, not really all that boozy. What I'm getting here is actually bits and pieces of everything pretty much on a label, and it smells pretty damn good. Getting a soft kind of milk chocolate off of it. I'm getting a whiskey spirit from it. I would go probably just general whiskey. It's not a Scotch whiskey. It's just kind of like a Southern whiskey, like a bourbon. Might just be a plain whiskey. But I'm definitely getting those raspberries in there. Getting a nice kind of jammy vibe off of those raspberries. I'm getting a little bit of kind of smoky, not overly smoky character, kind of slight barrel char smoky character from it. Nice sweetness from it. Man, those raspberries really come through. The chocolate is more kind of just mashed together with the kind of malt. But it comes off not overly sweet. Everything in here smells kind of like adultish. I've talked about that in the past when it comes to like kind of desserty flavors. Sometimes they're like super sweet, just over the top sweetness, tiramisu style kind of sweetness, and then there's that kind of more adult sweetness, that kind of score bar level sweetness, that kind of non-sweetened milk chocolate kind of thing, that kind of medium semi-sweet baker's chocolate thing that usually adults only dig on. That's what I'm getting in here. That kind of soft, not super sweetened chocolate with a nice kind of raspberry jamminess, and nice kind of little bit of smokiness from the barrel, a little bit of kind of spirit from the barrel, and nothing too crazy. Let's dive in. Cheers. Man, that is how you put fruit and beer. It's a little bit hot. I say that with a little bit of a caveat. I got like level 10 heartburn right now. I'm just kind of on the kind of cusp of kind of going into, damn, this fucking hurts kind of heartburn. So it's kind of flirting on the edge. So just taking a sip of this kind of sets it off for me. So it might be a little bit more of my heartburn than me having that kind of heat come at me. But I take a sip and I get a bit of kind of warmth to it. A little bit from the beer, a little bit from the heartburn. Really nice mouthfeel to it. More of that fluffy, creamy, pseudo-imperial porter kind of mouthfeel as opposed to stout. They're nice nonetheless. The chocolate definitely comes off just very lightly sweetened, almost cocoa powdery. It might be a combination of that kind of mouthfeel working with that chocolate. And that barrel has a little bit of smoke to it, a little bit of smokiness, not too crazy. Again, I think it's just like a whiskey, nondescript kind of generic kind of whiskey barrel. And then there's the raspberries. Super jammy. All the jammy. All the jam that I like it to be, kind of jammy. I mean, we're talking Jeremy jammy. That's how jammy it is. Yeah, it just comes off real. It comes off kind of preserve-like, not jelly-like. It's just absolutely where I want my fruit to sit, especially in the stout realm. I mean, you know, so you want your fruit a little bit brighter, more kind of acidic when you're talking about sours, things like that. For your kind of imperial stout realm, that was kind of a given, but I figured I'd kind of clarify myself. It has that really big, rich kind of jamminess to it that I don't get it from a lot of kind of buried stouts. Sometimes they come off that way, sometimes they don't, but the ones that really have killed it for me, Raspberry Abduction from Pipeworks, one of the original PB&Js from Framingham or from Jack's Abbey, a couple of those breweries that really nailed that kind of jam component. This gets it down pat, man. Absolutely fantastic. Pleasure to drink. Now that I have a couple sips, and my gut just says, okay, we're drinking some beer, so salad and heartburn. It's not nearly as hot, I should say. It just kind of has a little bit of oomph to it. And it's just absolutely delicious stuff, man. This is one of the better fruited or berried or jammed, let's go that way, stouts that I've had in a while. Really good. Let's cut to the chase and go right to that section, because what else am I going to say? Awesome jamminess leading the way for a really nice balanced below that kind of imperial stout when it comes to what's going on in there, from the malt, the barrel, to everything else. Is it one of the better imperial stouts, barrel-aged imperial stouts, fruited, jammed imperial stouts that I've had as of late? Yeah, absolutely. It's super drinkable, super tasty, and that fruit component is out of this world fucking delicious. So yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. Value and availability, $12 brewery release. If I can get this for $12 like that, by me, even if it is a brewery release, I don't care. That's a great price point. A lot of people are going to charge $20 for bottles like this, especially around my way. So kudos to you guys over at Fort George for not just, you know what I mean, kind of market valuing stuff and kind of taking every red cent from everybody. Brewery only, like I said, and just say, or very limited distribution, it says. And just say, if you like what we like this. If you like well-made beers. If you like imperial stouts, barrel-aged imperial stouts, and more importantly, if you like that kind of fruited jam berry thing in your bigger, darker beers, because this is absolutely to a T the way it should come off. At least I think so. With that just super fresh, real preserved kind of jammy component that just is big enough to be the star of the show, but not too big to kind of overpower the beer in general. Absolutely fantastic. Like I said, one of the better, if not one of the best fruited stouts that I've had in a while. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. If you didn't, anywhere in between, down there, Words and Stuff and Things. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Tapped. Massive Beers, all four of those places if you want to check this dude out somewhere else. And hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. Hopefully enjoying a nice jammy stout right now. And hopefully see you next time. Cheers.